Respected teachers, good evening to you all. Am I audible?
Yeah, very much.
Yes.
Today, my patient is a 41-year-old female patient. She is a homemaker from Kollam district. She completed pre-degree, and her presenting complaints were swelling in front of right leg for the past 2 years and rapidly increasing in size and pain for the past 2 months. History of presenting complaints. The patient, she was apparently normal 2 years back. Her complaint started as a small swelling in front of right leg, which was gradually increasing in size over the past 2 years. And for the past 2 months, it rapidly increased in size with associated pain. The pain was dull aching type of pain without any radiation. There was no aggravating or relieving factors. And for the above complaint, she consulted a doctor at nearby hospital, and she was examined and had asked to undergo a FNAC procedure and a ultrasound examination.
Paul.
Yeah.
See, you told that there's a rapid increase in size.
Yes, sir.
So, on your evaluation in the history,
Yes, sir.
what was the size before 2 months and rapidity? Is she really able to realize the rapidity? What do you think would have happened at this period of time?
Initially, it was very small in size, but it is noticeable, almost the size of a lemon. But
Okay.
it gradually increasing size over the past 2 years. But she was not worried about that thing. And for the past 2 months, suddenly it increased in size and attained a present size of around 10 centimeters.
So in the last 2 months, it has increased by 8 centimeters. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, sir. 7.
Okay.
Was there some trauma at that time?
There is no history of associated trauma. Or
Just 2 months back? No.
No history of any trauma.
What do you think has happened, Paul, during this time? Manu, I will not ask Paul.
Paul, you're confusing with
Confusing.
Paul.
Yeah. Manu, what do you think has happened?
Maybe it was a malignant swelling. That's why it was rapidly increased in size.
So something benign has become malignant. Huh? That is what you think?
Maybe it
I'm
was.
telling you, some change in, say, bleeding or something happened inside.
No, there is no incident which may precipitate bleeding. Only the FNAC procedure was there, which may induce bleeding. Otherwise, no history of trauma or any other event.
Okay, we'll come to FNAs then. Okay, go on.
It was done not 2 months back, no?
Yeah, no, recently it has been done, Manu.
So there is, you can't say that FNAC, the rapid increase 2 months, nothing
Okay,
was done at that time.
Let us take it this way. Any swelling is there in the body, there's a sudden rapid increase in size. What are things which will run in your mind? Because you only have elicited the history. There should be some point behind eliciting this history.
First point in a case which was a rapid increase in size of the malignancy.
First thing is malignancy. Yeah?
Other causes, inflammation.
Okay.
Inflammatory causes, infection,
Okay.
trauma.
In a pre-existing lesion. That's what we are talking about.
Hemorrhage into the lesion.
Okay. Right. Go on.
Then here there was no associated trauma or fever.
You know one thing, Manu. Now what has happened for DNB? The whole system has changed. We guys will not be able to question you guys like this. The whole system is just questions will be flashed and you need to just write down. There's only one case presentation. The whole thing is oxy system now in DNB. Go on.
Ayyappan,
Yeah.
rapid increase, I don't usually like people to say rapid increase because that gives an impression that there is some hemorrhage or something like that.
Correct. That's why I asked him that question.
So I told him yesterday also that we should not be saying like that.
Okay.
It's
Progressively increasing.
yeah,
is what-
progressively increasing or there is a fast growth. When
Usually-
you say rapidly increasing, all examiners will go and ask this. Why did it increase rapidly? Some hemorrhage into that or something like that. It's unlikely that
That's an easy answer to.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Somebody came in.
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah, the other way of looking at it is you can say it is a highly malignant tumor. So it is a rapid increase causing necrosis, something like that. You can start answering that way. You should be able to substantiate whatever the statement you say.
Okay, sir.
That's all. Right. Go on.
Quite often you can get a cystic transformation,
Correct.
the solid
Yeah.
swelling, like rapid growth, you get a cystic component. So it becomes sudden increase in size is usually because of that transformation from that solid to cystic state, when the tumor outgrows its blood supply. So that could be a reason. Yeah, necrotic.
Necrotic and cystic, all those things you should be able to substantiate whatever you're writing in your paper. That's the reason. Right. Go on.
There was no associated neurological symptoms distal to the swelling. There is no history of any other swelling in the
What is
body.
the neurological symptom you elicited there? You only mentioned, Manu, you mentioned it. So you need to say what is that you elicited.
There can be sensory disturbance on the dorsal cord medial side,
right,
due to the compression or involvement by the tumor.
Okay. Generally, these neurovascular things, if they are going to be lying down on a major neurovascular bundle, for example, if it's in the anterior compartment of the thigh, it's going to be in the femoral vessels. There's going to be compression there. The swelling, whatever you showed, it's not over any of the major vessels at all. And the nerve supply in that area has got to be the anterior tibial nerve and other things. They are not going to cause much of you will not be able to elicit anything in those areas. That's what. Okay, go on.
There is no any other swelling elsewhere in the body. No history of any swelling in the popliteal region or growing of the affected lower limb. There is no respiratory symptoms. Past history, there is no significant medical or surgical history in the past, and there is no history of any radiation treatment. Personal history, there is no personal history of any previous malignancies.
What radiation exposure do you expect here? In this area?
In this area, no, it is relevant. The
radiation history, where will you give routinely?
Routinely in the upper limb, the radiation for breast or chest wall irradiation.
Okay. Come on, one more thing is there. Important thing. Do you know the Y? Inverted Y in lymphomas? Manu?
No, sir.
Again, I repeat the same thing. If at all you elicit a history,
Okay, sir.
why are you eliciting it? Why are you documenting it?
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Okay,
I'm not offending you.
Okay,
Here with us, we are all close friends. You can make any number of mistakes. Okay? So, if you elicited something, you should tell me. Why did you elicit? You have only 40 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Or if it's given as this and all will be given as a short case, you'll have only 5 minutes. You cannot waste your time on this exposure to radiation. To make him understand itself will take a long time.
Okay, sir.
Okay, right? So upper limb, retroperitoneal tumor, something like that. If you palpate, there is some point. Here, the fellow will not have received any radiation. That's obvious. Why do you want to put yourself in trouble? Go on.
There is no personal history of malignancy. Her sleep is disturbed. Appetite, bowel and bladder habits are normal. Menstrual history is normal. Family history. There is a significant family history of multiple malignancies. 2 first-degree relatives are affected with the malignancy with the sarcoma. Her brother diagnosed with the sarcoma of popliteal region at the age of 47 years and treated with surgery and radiation, and he is disease-free now. And mother also diagnosed with the sarcoma at the age of 65 and completed treatment and disease-free. And her 2 second-degree relatives, one on maternal side, affected with the brain tumor after the age of 50 years, and further details not known. And on paternal side, one aunt is affected with the breast cancer, diagnosed at the age of 60 years and died. And 2 third-degree relatives, one maternal cousin affected with the malignancy at the age of 55 years, further details not known. And paternal side, cousin is affected with the CA breast at the age of 40 years and completed treatment and alive, disease-free. There is no history of consanguineous marriage, and she got 3 children, no history of any malignancy in them.
What does it signify? Why did you elicit this?
Sarcomas has got a genetic predisposing conditions.
Okay. Genetic predisposition in this. Your first class, you have elicited the first degree, second degree, third degree. Usually, one more question is there. What is the first degree, second degree? We will not go into that. Okay. But what is the significance here in this history, whatever you have elicited? Beautifully you have elicited this. This has a lot of significance. You should mention that.
There is a significant history of sarcoma.
Okay.
Two first degree relatives are affected with sarcoma, and one second degree relatives are
Why did you elicit? What is the importance of this? Why should you elicit? You are going to treat him anyway. Why do you want to elicit this?
I would like to rule out some genetic predisposing.
Okay, right. Again and again, you're going to genetic predisposition. What is the genetic predisposition here?
For soft tissue sarcoma, Li-Fraumeni syndrome,
Okay.
and FAP, and neurofibromatosis, or
Which one do you think it will fall into this, fit into this?
Considering the history of sarcoma, breast cancer, and brain tumor in the family, Li-Fraumeni is the most fixing thing.
Okay. Okay. What is it otherwise called as Li-Fraumeni?
Breast sarcoma leukemia syndrome.
What is it? You cannot you cannot swallow things.
The most common Li-Fraumeni associated malignancies are soft tissue sarcoma, osteosarcoma, brain malignancies, and leukemias.
You heard about something SBLA or something they will tell, no?
Yes,
SBLA.
sarcoma, breast, and leukemia, and adrenocortical carcinoma.
Okay. So what are the criteria you use here? Name one criteria here.
Schomburg criteria.
Okay.
That is a person affected with the.
Okay. You have read that. Good. Go on. How will you test these fellows?
We need to test for P53 mutation.
I did not ask you what you will test. How will you test these fellows?
We need to
The fellow has come. Now you will counsel him. Or you need your other siblings also need to be tested.
We need to do a genetic counseling.
Okay, genetic counseling. The genetic counseling tells go test that genetic testing. What is it you will test?
We need to test for germline mutation in blood.
Okay, blood. Okay, then what else? Anything else can be done also? Blood and saliva. Okay.
And saliva.
Yeah, go ahead. Right.
Examination. Patient is conscious, oriented, and cooperative. Her performance status is ECOG 1. Vitals are stable, pulse rate 80, blood pressure is 130/70, respiratory rate is 16. General examination, no pallor, ictus, cyanosis, clubbing, edema, or generalized lymphadenopathy. There is no features of neurofibromatosis.
Why did you check for neurofibromatosis?
Neurofibromatosis is also a predisposing risk factor for soft tissue sarcoma. Most common soft tissue sarcoma is associated with malignant peripheral inner sheath tumor.
Okay.
And predisposing neurofibromas malignant change can occur to MTMST.
Okay, right. Go on.
Her breast examination, thyroid examinations are normal.
Okay.
Coming to local examination, her gait is normal. Attitude and length of the bilateral lower limb is normal. Inspection, there is a swelling in the right leg, anterior aspect, middle third, around 10 into 8 centimeter in size, ovoid in shape, smooth surface, well-defined borders with a overlying superficial ulceration of size 3 into 2 centimeter, irregular in shape, with the floor covered with the scab, and redness around the ulcer, and a few dilated veins over the swelling, and there is no discharging sinus or scar, and distal to the swelling, there is no edema in the lower limb. Popliteal region and groin, there is no visible swelling.
Why is the edema specifically you're mentioning? Anything important in that?
In case of a large swelling,
were you able to make out any dilated veins, anything?
Sir, here a few dilated veins are there.
Apart from that, in the surrounding area, anything was there? Did you make the patient stand and did you watch for the distal, any dilated veins, anything?
There is no dilated veins distal to the swelling, sir.
on the anterior compartment, is there a tongue-like swelling coming down?
No, sir.
Yeah, that area, wherever you're keeping your mouse. Yeah, is there a tongue-like swelling coming down? Yeah,
No.
that area.
I understand that swelling is only till
Up
this.
till that area. Okay, right. Can you just mark out the swelling with your this thing? Yeah. Can you see my thing also? Okay. 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 Right. 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 On the lateral aspect, what happens?
Actually, the swelling extend both medially and laterally.
Medially and lateral. Spaz only the posterior compartment. Is that so?
Yes, it is extending medially over the tibia and to the lateral compartment also.
Okay. Right. Okay.
On palpation, all inspectory findings are confirmed, and there is a local rise of temperature of the swelling. Swelling is tender, and there is a 10 into 8 centimeter swelling in the anterior aspect of the right leg, middle 1/3.
Why was I bothered about the dilated veins and other things? Why should I be bothered?
Dilated veins or the swelling means.
And you did mention about edema. Imagine if the patient has had edema below. The distal component has edema. The same patient, if there is going to be a distal component, there's going to be edema. How significant is it? And how is it going to bother you while treating the patient?
It may be, the swelling may be obstructing the venous return.
Okay.
Venous and lymphatic return, causing
Okay.
the edema.
Yeah, that should run in your mind because everything will alter.
Yes, sir.
Your picture, radiological picture, your interpretation, everything, you'll have some confusion on that. Go on.
Palpation, there is a swelling, 10 into 8 centimeter swelling, anterior aspect of middle 1/3 of leg, extending both medially and laterally, ovoid in shape, smooth surface, variable in consistency, well-defined borders, and with a overlying ulcer in the central part.
We all need to accept what you say. We don't have an option.
Okay, sir.
Okay, go on.
With an overlying ulcer of 3 into 2 centimeter in size, and with the well-defined borders and restricted mobility
Restricted mobility
in all directions.
in all directions.
On the bone also?
No, sir, it's not fixed to bone. Actually, I couldn't, since the swelling is tender, I couldn't exactly assess the mobility, but it's mobile but restricted mobility. I think it's not fixed to the bone. I couldn't assess the fixity to muscle.
What muscle did you see here
Sir,
in this area?
it's extending to lateral compartment. So in that area, tibialis anterior will come.
Tibialis anterior is in the lateral compartment?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, go on.
There is distal. There is no.
So what? Why is there some? So you mean to say there is a tethered movement, not a fixity? It's tethered there,
Not a freely mobile swelling.
not really moved. Okay.
A lot of it is on the shin, no?
That's
Of the
what I
tibia?
said.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there would hardly be any muscles that would have been directly on the bone. That's why I was wondering whether it was.
Actually, this swelling is almost half part is on the lateral side.
Okay.
It's in both medial and lateral.
And the base is the fascia which is covering the tibialis anterior, and some component is lying on the bone, directly on the bone also.
Yes, sir.
Correct? That's what you want to mention. Right. Okay. Right.
There is no distal neurovascular deficit. Dorsalis pedis is palpable, bilaterally equal, and there is no enlarged nodes in the popliteal region or groin. Ankle joint and knee joint is normal, and contralateral lower limb examination is normal. Systemic examination.
Contralateral lower limb, some dilated vein was there. That's why I asked you on this side. So just below that knee area, there's something bluish in color. What is it? Is there the dilated vein there?
This one
Does she have any varicosity?
or this one? Contralateral side. Huh?
Contralateral side, he was mentioning. Does she have any? The one whatever is seen. Is that a dilated vein?
Yes, it can be dilated veins.
Because why I'm asking is, does she have any varicosity?
No, sir, no varicosity.
Okay. Because in that area we have valves that can be a varicose vein, and that if this is also going to exist in this limb, a lower limb, and if you're planning for treatment, it is going to affect you a lot.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go on.
Systemic examination is within normal limit.
Okay. Now, Vijay,
No,
Paul sir, anything you want to ask him, sir?
Nothing.
no.
So-
I just wanted to ask one thing.
Yeah.
Just a doubt I had. This patient has got such a strong family history. Why did he wait for 1 year? Any particular? I mean, because with the 2 first-degree relations having sarcoma, I would have
scared.
expected he would have come earlier. No, they were cured. I mean, they are all doing well.
No, Vijay, what all the patients say, no, they all blame the corona. No, maybe she would have expected corona also. So
Okay.
they all blame corona now.
Did you take an X-ray for that?
Why did she not come earlier? Any particular reason?
Other than corona?
She was not that much worried about that swelling at that time. Only when the size increased, she was worried about. Then seek medical attention. Till that time, he was not worried about that swelling.
Because normally people who have a family history generally tend to come a little earlier because they are aware of the treatment options and things like that. Okay.
Generally, that is a scenario. The other way of looking at it is the family members, they would have gone through some surgical procedures and other things. Because of that, they'll be scared also.
Fair enough.
Various reasons. Go on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to do, Manu?
Sir,
We're waiting for that question, correct?
yes, sir.
Provisional diagnosis.
Tell me.
This is a 41-year-old female patient with no medical comorbidities and significant family history of multiple malignancy, including sarcoma. Now with a progressively increasing size swelling in the middle third of leg, which is with a superficial ulceration. I would like to give a provisional diagnosis of a malignant soft tissue swelling, most probably soft tissue sarcoma.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Sir, I would like to investigate this patient with the local imaging.
Okay.
First, I would like to do a MRI of the lower extremity,
Okay.
and
What, you are expecting some questions? We are not asking you. Go on. What do you want to do, Manu?
I have to show the MRI, sir.
No. What do you want to do first? You don't show me the MRI. I'll catch in the MRI. Because you're going to be, I want you to read the MRI also.
Okay, sir.
Now, you go back. Now you want to do a MRI. Why not a CT?
No, sir. For soft tissue swelling, for
Which center are you in? Which center are you working?
so regional cancer center, Trivandrum.
Oh, you have everything there then.
Yes, sir.
Why not CT scan? I'm working in a very small center. If I ask you like that, what will be your answer?
So MRI is better than CT in evaluating soft tissue sarcoma
Because, see, Manu, don't get offended by me. This question will not be asked for MS fellow. But for you, we will ask you. Why? You will be taking a class next year.
Okay, sir.
You should be able to tell now, based on what study you are asking for an MRI. Okay? So, this is not a question for MS fellows. For you, yes, based on what study, I'm going for an MRI. MRI is the right. There's no doubt about it. Oh, Madhu has come. Madhu.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir.
Okay. Answer is MRI. Where all you delineate better is what you will be telling us now. Okay, go on. You have done an MRI of the local part. Then what do you want to do?
MRI will tell us will give the better delineation of anatomical structures, extent of the tumor, internal architecture of the swelling, and
What else?
then bone involvement, marrow involvement we can assess.
Correct.
And
The
neurovascular
is
structure.
also more comfortable on this. Okay, planning everything can be done comfortably also. The only problem is surgeons need to get more friendly with MRI.
Yes, sir.
That will be the problem. We guys all will be very friendly with CT scans. MRI will be a difficulty. Now, what else do you want to do?
After the MRI imaging, only I will plan a biopsy procedure.
Oh, straight away you'll do the biopsy.
Uh,
What else will you do?
Want to look at his lungs?
No. Manu,
Sir?
surgeon, surgical oncologist, you will never see the local site first.
Okay, sir.
What you are bothered about, entity of the patient.
Yes, sir.
Whole thing you need to consider as a unit. You cannot jump only to the leg now.
Okay, sir. Sir, I would also like to do the metastatic workup also.
Obviously. Okay. Go on. What will you do for that?
For this patient, for rollout lung metastasis, CT chest can be done.
Okay. Can be done now.
Will you do it or?
CT
We
chest.
do-
This case, CT chest.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This case CT chest means you mean to say there is some other case you will do some other investigation.
Yes, sir.
What?
Chest X-ray can also be done.
In which case?
T1.
Why will you do a chest X-ray? What is the situation you'll do a chest X-ray? What is your justification for doing a chest X-ray? Tell me.
Sir, T1 tumors, the chance of lung metastasis is less than 1%. So we can, a chest X-ray will suffice for metastatic workup.
Okay. Right. So you'll stop with the chest X-ray?
No, sir. If there chest X-ray with the limited use of CT, if there is any selective use of CT, if there is
Okay.
any,
What do you mean by selective use of CT?
first I will do a chest X-ray. If there is
Fantastic.
significant lesion in finding in the chest X-ray, I will go for CT.
Okay. Okay. Now I'll put it the other way around. So in a T1 lesion, what is a T1 lesion?
T1 lesion less than or equal to 5 centimeter.
Okay. In a T1 lesion, you're meaning that the chances of lung met is very minimal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when there is a very minimal, how will X-ray chest pick up? Okay. That is one component.
Yes.
Right. Now in this lesion, what lesion is this?
This is the clinical stage is T2.
T2. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. T2 lesion. What is the chance now? You need to only tell. You would have read all these things. T2, what is the chance of lung metastasis? Go on. Because this question came up because in this case I will do, that's what you mentioned. So there should be some other case, we will do some other investigation. Okay. So larger lesion, the chances of lung metastasis is very higher.
Okay.
What are the prognostic factors for soft tissue sarcoma?
Age, grade of the tumor,
One more, very important.
T stage,
Size of the lesion.
size of the lesion, location of the tumor.
Correct. Now the size of the lesion is a large one.
Large one.
It's more than the size of cricket ball.
Yes, sir. 10 centimeter size.
Yeah, 10 centimeter size. So it is 10 centimeters now. Obviously, it will fall into T2 or T3. Okay. So it is a large lesion. So the chances of distant metastasis is very high.
Very high.
You can take a chest X-ray. It will be filled with metastasis. Still, you want to go for a CT chest?
No, sir.
I'm just putting a scenario for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. CT chest is the right answer.
Okay, sir.
Okay, but when somebody is questioning you, yes, X-ray chest will also, because that's the most easiest examination.
Yes, sir.
Metastatic workup, chest X-ray. If chest X-ray is normal, I'll go for the CT chest.
Yes, sir.
When in T1, if you're not done a CT chest is also sufficient.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you want to be more cautious, so you're doing a CT chest in T1 disease.
Yes, sir.
In a T2, T3 disease, the chances of lung metastasis is higher.
Yes, sir.
So you go ahead and do a X-ray chest.
Yes,
If
sir.
there is lung metastasis, straight away you can avoid all the local investigation, distant metastatic workup, everything can be avoided.
Yes, sir.
And that too in RCC, where resources are very low,
Yeah.
first should be X-ray chest.
Okay,
If you're suspecting a soft tissue sarcoma of such a size, then you start working up all the other things.
Okay, sir.
Because your resources are very less.
Yes, sir.
So you should use it straight away, you do an MRI, that is, or else you should do subsequent, sequentially, I'll do all the investigation. These are wordings.
Okay, sir.
Understand? You know everything.
Yes, sir.
But for the exam,
Ayyappan sir, what you
Yeah.
say is absolutely right.
uh,
The problem is they're afraid if they say chest X-ray,
okay.
then the guidelines say CT chest for everything which is about T1, which is high grade, DPD, fascia, all those things.
Yeah.
So some examiners can stop them there and go on and
No,
crunch them.
that's why
That
I'm
is the
giving you an
problem.
answer also.
But you are absolutely right. You have
Yes.
to conserve your resources, and if
are-
there is high chance for
you are in a setup
metastasis,
of
you can
a
avoid a
RC.
CT lead. Yeah.
If you are going to tell this answer, everybody will think you are thinking about treating the patient and the place where you are working, because this is the way how you are working in your hospital. So tell that.
That is not exactly true, because most of the medical oncologists straight away, whatever they do, they will give for a CT chest.
The
That
Indian
happens
guidelines are
in
coming
RCC. That is the problem.
Indian guidelines are coming up.
Yeah.
So
So-
you should be aware of that also.
If even in small ones, people have the tendency to write CT chest, or outside they do PET, everything. In sarcoma, there's no role for. So these are the problems. So I'm just saying this because it has to be highlighted. What you said is absolutely right. It has to be highlighted. People should know that you can say a chest X-ray and save resources.
And you need to have to substantiate that why you are telling that. What is the policy? Why you are doing such a thing? Okay, go on.
There can be counter questions.
Yes.
In the US data, only 10% has metastasis representation.
Correct.
And 2/3 will be picked up by chest X-ray. 1/3 will be missed. So 1/3 of 10% is just 3% that you are missing. So only chest X-ray need be there. So you can say it in whichever way. You have to substantiate it.
Open your mouth.
Yeah. In high grade also, only 5% will, all taken together, 3% will miss. High grade, only 5% is missed. If you take that 5%, 1/3 is missed. But total of the 100 patients, only 5% will be missed.
Okay.
So these are all things we should discuss in the Indian scenario, which people don't usually discuss.
Okay, go on. What else will you do? So you wanted an X-ray chest, you wanted a CT chest, you wanted a MRI. Done.
Yes.
You want to show us anything else? You want to ask for anything else?
I want to see the MRI.
That's all. Your investigation is completed.
Considering the history of breast cancer in the family,
Okay. Okay. Then no, come. Right. Wait, you're getting yourself into this thing.
Wrong direction.
Okay. Tell me. Now,
uh,
breast cancer. So you'd go for a mammogram.
mammogram examination.
Lady, so a mammogram. So if it is a male, what will you do? Manu, a cute smile you got, man. Go on. What else you want to say? Madhu is also smiling now. It's a lower limb lesion. I'm giving you a hint. Lower limb lesion.
CT
Something is rare.
You want to look at lymph nodes?
additionally,
Vijay is very, very friendly, Straight away, he has gone to that.
nodal examination.
Nodal examination. You have never done that. You never mentioned anything
No,
about
he mentioned.
Nodal evaluation, sir. Nodal evaluation with image.
evaluation. So what will you do for that?
Ultrasound of the groin and popliteal region.
And popliteal region. What else? That's all?
Yes, sir.
Why? You don't want to do something else? Near the inguinal region, something else will be there, no?
In pelvis.
Why are you so against pelvis, man? Pelvis, inguinal region. Popliteal thing is, generally this fellow will skip and go there only. So popliteal, these are the three things you will do a scan for. Don't forget. As you have done the physical examination, radiological investigation also needs to be done in these areas. Okay? Okay, I'll give you a finding because you have not done an ultrasound. Have you done an ultrasound?
No, sir, we have not done an ultrasound.
Not an ultrasound. I'm adding one finding. There's a 2 centimeter node in the pelvis. External iliac node is there. Keep that in mind. Okay? Right? Right. Go on with your investigation. Give me the reports on your investigations. Tell me. You wanted to show something.
Where's your MRI?
We
You
have
want
the
to show
MRI,
me the
no?
MRI.
Manu, just show the MRI, please.
He doesn't want to show the MRI now. Yeah, read the MRI. You want to read the MRI? You don't want to read the MRI. There are two answers for this. That's why I'm asking you.
I know, sir.
Tell me. Tell me, answer.
Sir, this is MRI of leg. MRI of leg, showing right leg. First one is the coronal image. Second one is T1 weighted axial image. Third one is T2 weighted image, and fourth one is contrast enhanced T1 imaging. So
Wait. Go ahead.
sir, in this coronal imaging, there's a lesion.
What
T1,
are the various compartments of this leg, Manu?
sir.
Because this has relevance to one of your answers you did before.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you told the tibialis anterior belongs to which compartment?
Anterior compartment, sir.
Okay. Now you tell me the compartments of the leg and the muscles in the compartment of the leg.
Sir, anterior compartments, core muscles, tibialis anterior, external hallucis longus, external digitorum longus, peroneus tertius.
Okay.
Lateral compartment, peroneus brevis and peroneus longus.
Okay. The tibialis anterior is in the anterior compartment, not in the lateral compartment.
Sir, anterior compartment.
Okay. Go on now. Okay. This is involving what all?
Sir, in the T1 axial image, there is a lesion which is giving a isointense signal, which is almost with the isointense and with the hypointense areas,
Okay.
and which is in the corresponding T2 weighted image showing a heterogeneous enhancement with the hyperintense areas, and the lesion. We can see the fascia layer.
What fascia you are seeing?
This is a superficial fascia.
Okay.
We can trace
Okay.
below the swelling, below the tumor.
Okay.
So is the entire thing above the muscle?
No. How can it be above them? It is obviously above the bone there. It's obviously above one big component is over the bone, man. That's the white thing is the bone, man.
This part is over the bone. This
You
part,
show me the bone. Show me the bone.
this
Tibia bone. Yeah, that's the tibia bone.
tibia bone.
Where is the-
Half part is over the tibia bone. This
that is what Vijay sir is asking repeatedly.
Yes,
The
sir.
whole thing is over the muscle.
Tibia
Or...
bone, sir.
Okay. Because he wants you to mention periosteum. He is repeatedly asking for that.
Yes, sir. But periosteum, there
You
is.
saw the periosteum.
Yes, sir. We can
Okay.
see the periosteum, sir.
Okay.
There's no lesion in the bone cortex. There is no.
Okay.
So there is no cortical involvement. There is no marrow involvement.
Okay.
And here, some I couldn't find out any definite plane between the tumor and.
Did you take the MRI and discuss with the radiologist?
No, sir.
No time. Okay. No problem. Okay.
Here,
Hmm.
here I couldn't.
Rexina,
Yes, sir.
can you check where this tibialis anterior muscle is?
Okay, sir.
I forgot about the anatomy.
Manu is actually an MS ortho who's doing MCH.
But the thing will
The
not change, no?
Tibialis anterior is in the anterior compartment.
Compartment, right? Oh, Saju sir has come. Right, sir. Right. I forgot. Go on.
Sir,
Okay, that fascia is involved then. That's what you want to say.
yes, sir. I couldn't properly see the fascia between the muscle and the tumor. Maybe there may be an infiltration, maybe there.
Okay.
But periosteum, I can see. So
Right.
no periosteal involvement.
Right. Fantastic.
Neurovascular bundle is well away.
Well away. Okay. Right. What do you want to do? Then you have chest X-ray also. CT chest is normal.
Yes, sir. CT thorax was normal.
Normal. You got something else you also had, no? What are the investigation? Ultrasound is 2 centimeters in the iliac region.
Yes, sir.
One node is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
What else you want to do?
Sir, I would like to take a biopsy from the representative area from the tumor and also from the FNAC from that node.
Okay. What is the representative area? How do you know the representative area? What do you mean by the representative area?
Means the tissue where the viable tumor cells are there. We should
Okay.
have necrotic area.
Okay. So how will you do that?
Sir,
What root cut are you going to do?
I will do a core needle biopsy from the.
I'll do an FNAC alone. Why do you want a core needle? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is why I want a core needle. FNAC. This is where I'll do an FNAC.
FNAC, the tissue amount will be very less, and the TrueCut will provide adequate tissue material for proper grading of the tumor and to for the subtype to diagnose the histological subtype.
Why do you want to know the subtype?
Sir, there are some tumors which may be
What are the tumors? Which may be for what?
some round cell tumors may be there.
Okay.
For which we need to give chemotherapy.
Okay.
And so I want to know the histology subtype. And another thing is, if there is any well differentiated liposarcoma, we can decide on the margin also. We can for well differentiated liposarcoma, not 1 centimeter margin is not required.
Okay.
And I would also know,
Manu,
sir.
can you hear?
Yes,
Use
sir. Yes.
core cut, true cut. How do you take the core cut or the true cut? Representative area.
Through ultrasound guidance.
Yeah, there should be some guidance because you said there is cystic areas variegated. So why do you want that?
For
To get a representative area. Yeah, you should avoid the necrotic area.
necrotic area, we will not get a diagnosis.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then
we also, I would like to know the grade of the tumor also.
how do you grade a lesion?
Using French grading system,
Okay.
3 grading system, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3.
Based on what?
Based on tumor differentiation, amount of necrosis, and mitotic count.
Okay. Then how will you take the sample and what will you put?
I'll take a sample with the core needle.
How many cores will you take?
4 to 6 cores.
That's all, 4 to 6 number is there. Why 6? Why not 2? Hey, you answered me. Chuma, we are just bullying you. Just answer. Kata, 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 and you answer and go. The examiner is in a very good mood. They will ask all these nonsense.
Because if it is heterogeneous areas may be there, we need to take multiple core cuts.
Exactly. That word is what I wanted. Multiple core cut biopsy needs to be taken. So it needs to be sent to every place.
Yes.
What are every places? Histology will send. You'll have some thing to shoot for preserve for yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cytogenetics. A lot of things you can send.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because definitely such lesions, heterogeneous lesions and other things, they will come in for IHC and other things.
Yes, sir.
So you should have tissues for them.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then
I will send the sample in formalin.
okay. Good. Then what else you want to do? What is the histology? And what is you wanted to do an FNAC also? How will you do the FNAC from the in the iliac region?
The ultrasound guidance.
Hmm.
I'll do FNAC from the.
What is the core needle you use here? What is the size you want to use? What are the precautions you want to take?
I'll use a 16. Here we are using a 16 gauge core needle. We need to place the core needle track in the correct position so that we can.
What is the correct position here?
We should be able to excise that core needle track along with the.
In this you will be planning that way, yeah? In this swelling?
No, sir.
Track can be planned in this case, huh?
No, sir.
Then?
This area I will target the representative area, the
Okay.
least distance.
Right. Then you have done madam, you have the biopsy report, anything, madam?
Yes, sir. It's a poorly differentiated malignant neoplasm with
Fantastic.
epithelial features.
Come again, poorly differentiated, malignant
Neoplasm
neoplasm
with epithelial features
with epithelial features.
also.
And
IHC also with me.
oh, IHC is there. Okay.
CK is negative.
Wait 1 minute, madam. Manu, you have this report with you. This is what the patient brings to you.
Yes, sir.
What do you want to do? And the FNAC is reactive.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Reactive notes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So you have the reactive notes and madam has given you the report. What do you want to do? This is how routinely this is what would have happened in your any institute. Patient will come like this.
It's a poorly differentiated malignant neoplasm.
Okay.
So we need to do further IHC to.
What is the IHC panel you'll ask for?
Sir, I'll ask for cytokeratin,
Okay.
Desmin,
Mm-hmm.
SMA, Vimentin,
Vimentin. Okay.
LCA.
Right. Leave these things alone now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
If it is a sarcoma,
Yes.
that was a running diagnosis.
Yes, sir.
What will be your thought of the subtype? What is common in the lower extremity?
Lower extremity, it is liposarcoma and liposarcoma.
Okay. Now let us go back to Madam. What is the IHC
What about
report, madam?
epithelioid sarcomas? Do you see them?
Sir, but most common is liposarcoma.
Yeah, most common. Because they mentioned an epithelial differentiation. That's why I was wondering. And Ayyappan already picked up a node there. So, you know, my antenna will go up if the epithelial component comes in and the node is there. Then
Okay.
So the IHC is CK negative.
yeah.
SMA patchy cytoplasmic staining present. Desmin negative. S100 negative. So fine. Would you like me to tell the final comment?
Yeah, go on. Manu knows that. That's why he's smiling.
High grade sarcoma.
High grade
Sarcoma.
pleomorphic high grade sarcoma.
And that
Right.
was, they didn't even say pleomorphic, so they just said high grade sarcoma.
Okay. That's all.
That's also, that is our biopsy report.
Now, Manu, tell me, what do you want to do?
The only thing which is giving a clue to sarcoma is SMA positivity.
That's also an entity, man.
Hmm.
High grade sarcoma is an entity. That's all. They're not able to place anywhere. They'll give it to the surgeon now. Did you discuss with the pathologist? You want to discuss with the pathologist again?
Yes, I will discuss with the pathologist.
What do you want to discuss? Just because Ayyappan told you'll go and discuss. What will you discuss?
Further IHC markers,
What will you ask for?
if it is feasible.
If it is feasible, they will tell. Pathologists say everything is feasible. What is it you want to ask for? Okay, with this, what do you want to do? Go ahead.
Since there is a diagnosis of high grade sarcoma, means
Sir, anything else, sir? Paul, sir? Vijay?
So the only thing I would ask you in the MRI, I would like to know is what are the things you look for, from a surgical standpoint view, from a surgical viewpoint, when you look at an MRI, what should you be looking at? How are you going to plan your surgery based on that MRI?
sir,
What are the features you look for, which might help you make a decision on what all help you'll need later for surgery?
we need to see whether the margins are irregular or well defined, whether there is any peritumoral edema is there, peritumoral extension, what are the planes involved, what are the muscles, adjacent structures involved which need to be resected, what are the neurovascular structures involved, whether in bone involved or not.
Okay. You think how much of skin will go in this? You will decide based on what?
That is clinically decided.
Chemically. Okay. And bone?
Bone,
Do you think after seeing the MRI you need to take out some bone, periosteum?
sir, periosteum we can see clearly. If any doubt is there, we can use a limited cut CT. We can use to completely rule out bone involvement.
Okay, so proceed. How are you going to do surgery now? What is the plan?
What do you want to do? Paul is thinking, what is the highest level here? Manu is thinking, what can we do? Tell me, Manu, what do you want to do? Waiting for your approach.
Node FNAC report.
Reactive, I told you.
Reactive.
Is there any road for central node biopsy in this?
There are some studies showing evaluated the central
The
node.
answer should be no.
No.
That's all.
No central node.
I'm pulling you into this. Then I'll ask you what are those two studies.
No.
That is how it will go. Now the answer for tortoise sarcoma is no.
No.
You have decided on surgery?
No, wait, Vijay, that's why I repeatedly have asked him, what does he want to do? He's not telling, he's thinking, he's not answering at all. Manu, You're there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, what do you want to do?
I would like to proceed with surgery, sir.
Okay. Right. You are in an institute setup.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Manu.
Okay, sir.
You cannot answer like this.
Yes, sir.
What is sarcoma treatment now? First of all, it's a multidisciplinary tumor approach.
Yes, sir.
Anywhere, first you should have thought about, I'll put it up in the multidisciplinary tumor board team, and then I'll decide on the treatment modality.
Okay, sir.
Somebody is bound to ask you, is there a role for neoadjuvant, some form of neoadjuvant therapy in this?
First thing is you should have answered that. Multidisciplinary tumor approach is the what? It's the in thing now in all things. You should mention that word. I will see. That is why I kept on giving a hint from the beginning. Will you discuss with your pathologist? You should bring everybody into the. And I told you about the radiologist also.
Okay, sir.
Did you discuss with the radiologist?
Okay, sir.
It matters a lot. That gives you the difference between a team which is treating a sarcoma and the case which is being handled by a general surgeon.
Okay,
Why am I telling you this? There's a lot of prognosticating factor itself is a team approach on sarcomas.
Okay, sir.
Now, what do you want to do?
I will discuss this case.
What is your, you told surgery,
Yes,
correct?
yes,
What
sir.
is the aim of your surgery? What do you want to do now?
Aim of surgery to completely remove the tumor with a oncologically appropriate margin and to give a best possible functional outcome.
You think you'll be able to achieve by surgery in this case? Do you have any other options? As Vijay sir is asking, right? Your approach, maybe you want to be being in the surgical thing. First thing is we should have put up in the surgical, the tumor board. The decisions would have been entirely different. Sir, Augustine sir, am I correct, sir?
Yeah.
Paul sir?
Yeah, we discussed.
Okay.
You want to go into this case, the realities of this case, or otherwise? Definitely, looking at advanced sarcoma, you have to have the options of neoadjuvant.
No, that is why I asked you, because in an institute setup,
Yeah.
so what the institute practices is
Yeah.
also matters.
Yeah.
So,
The in thing neoadjuvant is RT you can think of, but we discussed it. You want to know about this case, Ayyappan sir?
I would not mind, sir, but definitely the
Yeah.
approach should have been different. Anyway, we'll discuss. It's the cases for discussion. So how Manu, maybe because he's in the institute, somebody would have told him something, so he's just operating. Okay.
Sir, I am not considering neoadjuvant treatment because skin is ulcerated. That's
Okay.
I'm not considering neoadjuvant radiation in this patient.
Okay. What are the neoadjuvant treatments available, Manu?
Neoadjuvant radiation
Okay.
and neoadjuvant chemotherapy.
Okay. Then
Neoadjuvant chemo radiation is also there.
Neoadjuvant with trabectedin, such things are also there. Other
Then?
molecules.
anything else? Any local regional therapy you will consider?
Hyperthermia treatment, regional hyperthermia with the heat.
You have chosen your treatment.
Yes.
The multidisciplinary is now telling a lot of treatments to you.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, yes.
So you have chosen your treatment. Now I'm telling you, RT is there, chemo, just a chemo is there, just a RT is there, chemo RT is there. Your first thing is you have mentioned a very good general condition on the patient. It's
Yes.
an extremity lesion.
Yes.
It's an ulcerated lesion, poorly differentiated tumor. That's a diagnosis what you got. Poorly differentiated sarcoma is what she has told.
Yes, sir.
So, what is some thing called as the histology targeted therapy? Is there? What is that?
There are some chemotherapy agents which are sensitive.
Especially for the histology, whatever she mentioned. What are the usual chemotherapies given in sarcomas?
The usual chemotherapy regime is combination of ifosfamide and adriamycin,
Okay, and
we can give epirubicin.
okay, what is the aim?
What is the drug given along with
What is the aim?
amycin ifosfamide?
Along with
I've given you the hint already. What is the aim?
I and M.
Mesna,
Okay. What are the other regimens available?
ifosfamide, epirubicin, taxanes.
Okay. Every chemotherapy you can say. I asked you regimen, what is available? What other regimens are available? It is there for a very long time.
Ifosfamide,
Specific chemotherapeutic agents for specific pathology, you can say if you.
Because I have given you the hint initially itself.
Okay, sir. For synovial sarcoma, taxanes can be given.
Okay.
Angiosarcoma taxanes can be given. And,
Along with what?
along with the
MC something? Gemcitabine or something like that? Okay, in this, what is the histology they've told and what is the chemotherapy you like? Okay, I'm telling, I'll go back. Sir, Vijay sir, what do you want to do? Sir, you are accepting straight surgery?
Yeah, I don't mind surgery, but I just want to ask him, what is your rationale for, like when you have to give, this is a patient who will definitely need post-op RT also, right? Whether you prefer pre-op RT or post-op RT is my question.
Yes, sir. This patient will need RT.
What is the advantage of pre-op RT over post-op RT?
No. Is there an advantage?
Yes, sir.
What is advantage? Based on what are you telling?
Late toxicities are very less with the pre-op RT when compared to post-op RT.
What are the late toxicities?
Fibrosis, edema, stiffness.
In what?
Lower limb. Extremity.
That's all?
Yes, sir.
Fibrosis, edema, stiffness of what? Joint stiffness.
Joint stiffness.
Okay. And what is the complication in the pre-op RT?
It is acute wound complication. Acute wound complications are more in pre-op RT.
Okay.
See, the main advantage why radiation oncologists would prefer pre-op RT is the volume is much better defined. You know, they know which volume to give tumor. When you're giving it post-op, you really don't know the volume because you have, the tissues have fallen back and you're giving a much larger area in that sense.
What is CTV?
The volume is set, the dose can be low, there is vascularity to that.
Manu, what is CTV?
Clinical tumor volume.
Tumor volume?
Target volume. Clinical target volume.
Okay. What is GTV?
Gross target volume.
Okay. What is Vijay Kumar sir talking about now? Okay. Let's begin. What are the other options? I don't want to, you want to operate now. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. What are the things which will, anything else, sir, Vijay sir?
No. Let's see what
I would have approached in a different manner. So you want to operate? Let us go with surgery.
We have discussed in the tumor board. They didn't want to give RT.
Okay.
So anyway, we have a reconstruction
team is there. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay. Salvage was possible, so you go ahead with surgery. No. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What did you do? Manu, what did you do?
Rexina,
Sir?
you have those?
No, sir.
I think you have it.
What surgery should be done?
Manu can tell what surgery should be done.
Sir,
what will you do? Anyway, the skin is to be taken off, no? What will we do?
I will discuss the options with the patient, surgical or treatment options with the patient, about the surgeries, options available, limb salvage and amputation. And
you suggested amputation?
No, sir. Limb salvage is feasible in this patient.
What were the surgeries done for the relatives?
Sir, wide excision, sir.
Wide excision. So the patient will be more for wide. She will not be ready to lose her limb.
Yes, sir.
So
there is no indication for amputation in this case.
No indication.
But he will threaten the patient amputation. So the patient will be willing for wide excision. Okay. How wide do you want to go? You want to do a excision, right?
No, wide excision, sir.
Wide excision. Okay. What do you mean by wide excision?
With the excision of the tumor with the 1 centimeter normal tissue all around.
1 centimeter. Why did you? I'll give 2 centimeters. I'll give 3 centimeters. I'll give 1 millimeter.
Sir, your voice is getting cut in between, I think.
No?
Yeah, it's okay now. Yeah.
Right, Manu, I would give 1 millimeter or I would give 3 centimeters. Why did you choose 1 centimeter?
1 centimeter is enough to get a oncologically negative margin.
1 centimeter.
Even in a high grade or a low grade, does it matter?
Sir, Japanese margin classification system is there. For that high grade tumor, 3 centimeter margin should be given. For low grade, 2 centimeter.
Okay.
Okay. So some examiners will want to know that for a high grade, they prefer to give a bigger margin. But that's okay. I genuinely believe a negative margin is good enough. But
I think as of now, the latest thing is that you just need a negative margin.
Negative margin. I agree. But some examiners will ask this. I'm telling you.
Sure.
Okay. So you want to achieve a wide excision with 1 centimeter margin. In what dimensions?
Sir, all dimensions.
Okay.
On the bone, you will get it.
But on the bone,
Sir, on bone, I will take periosteum as the margin,
but that is not 1 centimeter.
but there are margin according to the quality of the margin also. According
What is this quality of margin then? Good quality, yeah?
No, periosteum. The periosteum will be amount to 2 centimeter margin
Why? Based on what?
according to Kawaguchi classification.
What is that?
They are given thick barrier and thin barrier.
Okay.
The thick barrier is strong membranous tissue like iliotibial band, joint capsule, presacral fascia, and periosteum of the pediatric child.
Okay.
Thin barrier will be sheath around vessels and
Thick barrier, how much is the equivalence to that of soft tissue?
3 centimeters.
3 centimeters. Okay. This is called as, what is this called as?
Kawaguchi's
Tell me, full thing. Kawaguchi.
margin classification.
Margin classification, huh? Okay. Go on. Okay. Now, so you'll be taking off the periosteum?
Yes, sir. Periosteum will be taken as the deep margin,
Okay.
and lateral side muscle will be taken as margin.
How much of muscle will you take? Again, 1 centimeter? Because there you'll also have a fascia. The picture, whatever you showed,
Yes, sir.
whatever margins you want to achieve,
So that fascia is, I think, by
is
MRI
involved.
involved. So
Okay.
I need to take further margin.
Okay. So you'll be taking some muscle bulk also in that area. About 1 centimeter of muscle bulk you'll take.
Muscle will be taken.
Okay.
Supposing the inner aspect of the fascia is involved and the outer aspect is not involved, how much margin you will get there?
If the
Just abutting.
if the tumor is abutting the fascia, we need to reduce 1 centimeter from the
Okay.
at 2 centimeter quality.
Okay.
Hmm.
Still you will have 1 centimeter. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you have taken some amount, again, 1 centimeter of muscle here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all around you have taken. What now? What will you do now?
There will be a defect
Okay.
for muscle and or the
Manu,
Yes,
you are a surgeon.
sir, I need to put clip
Where? For what?
base to give plan adjoint artery.
No. Okay. Adjoint artery, you have planned that one. What else will you plan? What else will you do? See, when you operate on soft tissue sarcoma, chuck, steps are there. The specimen is in your hand. What will you do?
I need to tag the margin.
Okay.
I need to check the adequacy
Orient
of
the
the
specimen.
margin.
Yeah.
The word is there.
I need to orient the specimen.
What will you orient?
I'll tag the
The
margin.
most difficult specimen is the shin specimen, always.
I'll tag the margin.
Okay.
I'll
What are all the things you will tag?
I'll tag D.
Because this question I'm asking you because only if you have done, you will answer properly now.
I'll tag the periosteal margin and
Okay.
the muscle margin I took.
Okay.
Then both lateral.
Anterior, medial, lateral, and the third dimension margin.
Yes, sir.
This is what your answer should be.
Yes, sir.
Okay. With stitches.
Stitches.
Okay. Now what will be the problem? As a surgeon, if you have operated soft tissue sarcomas, you know what the problem will be.
There will be a
your
defect
hand.
will be there.
Huh?
Defect will be there. Soft tissue.
Defect will be there. In the specimen, what will be there? You are given only 1 centimeter. It is a muscle. The whole thing will retract now.
It will contract.
It will retract.
It will retract.
So you'll start seeing the tumor. Correct? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Now what will you do now?
I'll re-exercise.
See? So you have planned for a re-excision immediately now. So, but you gave 1 centimeter margin definite. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So you think that you should have given a 3 centimeter bulk so that when it retracts, it will cover the muscle tumor properly? This question will not be asked to an MS student. Please remember, tomorrow you're going to operate outside all alone.
Yes, sir.
You should know how to manage the situation. What should have been done? And some more thing is there in your whole specimen. Answer.
Specimen should be fixed in a.
That is later step. We'll come to that. Plenty is there before that. See, it retracts.
Yes, sir.
Either while operating, you should have put the stitch all around
Yes, sir.
so that fix the muscle.
Yes, sir.
Because when you gave the clearance, it's 1 centimeter clearance, you were very sure. If it retracts, the whole tumor will prompt outside. That will happen invariably. So whenever you cut, you need to take stitches there so that it stays inside. So when the pathologist sees, they will take it from that area. That inking should be done in that area. That's important. What else? You told about the periosteum. Ideally speaking, as Vijay sir was repeatedly asking about the bone, you should send the specimen immediately after orientation to the pathologist for frozen section. You're an institute setup. You have to see, as Paul sir was asking, if the other side of the fascia is involved, the other side of the periosteum is involved, though you're saying it is clear here.
Yes, sir.
But microscopically, what is happening is what you're bothered about.
Yes, sir.
Because you need to plan it adequately. You cannot enter inside after a free tissue transfer has been done because your institute is very powerful with that. Correct? Okay, go on. Now,
We'll send
I
for.
want to give brachytherapy. You told it's a high-grade lesion.
Yes, sir.
I want to plan brachytherapy. Why have you not planned for that? Is it brachytherapy? Is it feasible here?
No, sir, because
Why?
tumor size is large.
So what? 10
So what?
centimeters.
Why is brachytherapy not possible?
Why is brachytherapy not possible? There's only one answer for that. Brachytherapy is, I'll accept, not possible because of some other reason, not for 10 centimeter.
Skin
10
coverage,
centimeter is possible.
skin coverage will not be possible and bone is exposed.
That's all? No. That I'll manage that. I have some option for that. But that I don't have an option for one thing. Why? What do you use for brachytherapy? Paul sir, we can ask him all these things, no?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
had his postings for 2 months there.
Yes.
Did he go for his radiotherapy postings?
I place catheters.
Yes, finished radiotherapy also.
Fantastic. Then he will teach us now. Manu, tell.
We need to place catheters.
Okay. What catheter?
Brachytherapy.
Everything has its own name. Catheter is correct. A prefix word is there for that.
Interstitial implantation.
Interstitial implantation. Now you're going somewhere else. Okay. After loading catheters.
After loading.
After loading catheters to be placed. Okay. What will happen when you place after loading catheters there? Whenever you do brachytherapy, the catheters and the iridium wires, they are straight line.
Yes, sir.
They cannot curve like this. You told the anterior compartment is involved, tibia fascia is involved, the lateral compartment is involved. It cannot be like a hook.
Yes, sir.
Brachytherapy cannot be given like that. Either you can place it vertically. It needs a highly dedicated brachytherapy unit. Still, it is feasible. Please understand. Because it's a feasibility is there.
Longitudinal.
With, hello?
Yeah, longitudinally, if you place it,
Longitudinally, if
Yeah,
you
it
place
is-
it,
it
it's
is
still
possible.
feasible.
One,
If you had discussed with
possible, and in this case also, there would not have been much of a curve.
correct.
The cost is a bit of a problem here. The catheters
Okay.
cost, and they are not doing it frequently.
Regularly there.
We used to do it a decade back more frequently.
Correct. Why was it left behind? Manu, he has given you the answer. A decade back, brachytherapy was done very commonly. What is the indication for brachytherapy?
High grade tumors,
Fantastic.
margin negative,
Fantastic.
and we should be able to cover the entire area with the brachytherapy.
Correct. With the catheters. Okay. Why was it not being done frequently? No. Because of the advent of something, because of one study, it is not being done frequently now. What is it?
IMRT techniques.
Fantastic.
yes,
IMRT
because
has
your
been-
newer techniques of radiation have really
Reduce.
sort of made those need for brachytherapy a little more,
Yeah.
almost becoming, not
Obsolete.
needed because they are obsolete.
We
Because
used to do for sarcomas and even for breasts earlier on.
previously we only had cobalt, so that time this was definitely an advantage to have brachy. Now with a lot more refinement in radiotherapy, you
Why are we talking about this brachy and IMRT here, Manu? No.
This patient needs urgent radiation.
Correct. So what? Let us give the adjuvant radiation. Why should we talk about IMRT and brachytherapy in this case? You told the answer already. You know the answer. You're not correlating the answer. That's all. A functional limb is what you're interested in.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to handle nearly 2 compartments, or 3 compartments. You're going to handle 2 compartments.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to cost you much of 2 modalities of treatment is going to happen. You're going to take off the whole skin in that area. You're going to give RT to that area. What was not there, the lymphedema will start coming now.
Yes, sir.
Distal limb will be full of edema.
Yes, sir.
So we need to have a adequate skin for avoiding this lymphedema. Right. Okay. So we should not irradiate a normal tissue all around. We should be able to spare normal tissue which is there, which is going to be left behind.
Yes.
Okay. Then you have resected. Your margins have been adequate. You have sent it to the frozen section. They are told periosteum cori. What do you want to do? I can put him this Corino Paul. You're not angry with me.
It would be in a tight position if it becomes scoring.
That's why I want to ask you. Manu was expecting a negative margin. The pathologist, they're telling Corey, we are not sure about it. What do you want to do?
If it is a doubtful periosteal margin, I need to take further margins.
What is the further margin there?
Bone cortex.
What do you want to do there?
I'll take the cortex of the bone.
Full cortex, huh?
Hemicortex.
Hemicortex. Okay. Okay. Oh, you're an orthopedician, right?
He's an orthopedician.
Oh, now it is in your field now. Okay. Right. I should not have asked you this. Right. Okay. You have done that also.
It's only difficult for me. For him, it's easy.
Easy. Okay. What is the saw you'll use? Dot and all. Okay. We'll leave that all this thing. You'll be very comfortable with that. Okay. All the margins are negative. You have oriented the specimen. You got the pathologist to say that all the margins are negative. One more thing is you should ink the margins. Please remember when you're asked the question, inking, orientation, discussion with the pathologist, sending the specimen, if it is closed margin, to have the frozen section. Now what else? You applied the clips also.
Yes, sir.
What do you want? How will you reconstruct? Do you want to reconstruct or you want to leave it off?
No, I want to reconstruct, sir.
What are the options of reconstruction in this area? Correct, sir. Vijay, anything else, sir?
Yes. I was going to ask him after this, how is the inking done in your institute?
Okay. What is that you used for inking?
Yes.
How do you do that? Have you ever done that? Be honest.
No, sir. I used to mark with the sutures only. We are not used to.
Okay, so how is the inking done then? Do you know at least in your institute?
What is the huge difference between the suturing and inking? You should learn that.
Yes, sir.
Should go and see in the pathology exactly how they do the inking, how is the ink
Very
fixed,
important.
and whether you use one color, whether you use multiple colors, depending on each institute will have a different protocol for which, each side you can mark with a different color. And what is the color that you use? Is it just camel ink? Is it something else? You must just check.
Definitely questions will be asked on that. Because routinely guys, who do the sarcomas, they will be interested on this. And then
so normally you're supposed to carry the specimen and go to the pathology and you see the inking. Then only you can point out to them which margin is you want them to take properly. The pathologist won't know the orientation, whatever how much pictures you put. So you have to go with the specimen. Ideally,
with the drawing.
Frozen section should be in the theater. You should have a room in the theater which has the frozen section, this thing, and you can just walk with the specimen there. So, but then you should know how the inking is done.
Oh, no, it's not that it's not done. It is done like that. From centers where it is done like that. Okay, go on. Now, what else? Now we wanted to reconstruct.
Yes, sir.
What is the reconstruction you do? What are the options available in this case? Do you have the photographs? Madam, Raksana, madam, you have the photographs, madam?
Actually, Manu might have the photograph.
We have the photos.
Manu is well prepared with the whole thing then. Tell Manu then. What is the defect? What is the reconstruction you did?
No, photos are not available, sir.
Oh, very comfortable now. Okay. Tell me. What is the reconstruction you want to do?
Sir, I would like to cover the muscle area or the overlying muscle area. I would like to cover with the skin graft, and over the bone area, I need to cover with the flap.
Why you are so partial? Why bone area you want to cover with the flap? What flap you want to plan? And you're comfortable with skin graft.
No, sir. The defect might be will be very large.
Okay.
So,
Your,
adequate.
your
The large
reconstruction team is fantastic. Team is available there.
Yeah, what are the options, Manu?
I first asked you what are the options, and you are in an institute setup. You are in a peripheral setup. There are two things. It has
If
its
you
own
mention a
advantage.
graft and this is a patient who's going to need a
No, wait. Vijay, he is
radiation.
going to
No,
be
you
in
need
trouble
radiation.
now. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
going to be in
yeah.
trouble now.
And I would like to take a local rotation flap
Okay.
from posterior side.
See, the way you showed from the posterior aspect,
Yes.
the way you showed the specimen, almost the whole of the anterior compartment, the lateral compartment, the whole skin, and some component of posterior compartment would have gone for clearance purposes.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to disturb the strip of posterior skin, whatever is available. Is that what you want to do?
No, sir.
Now, why did you change? Why did you say no? Why did you say yes initially? Because Ayyappan asked, you told no. Why did you say no? What will happen if you take off the flap from there?
Only,
I mentioned the answer initially itself.
only thin normal tissue will be available. Normal tissue between the defect and the donor site.
What will happen then?
Necrosis will happen.
More than necrosis. what will
edema,
happen?
edema.
Lymphedema, you can never answer that.
Lymphedema will happen.
You should never even plan that treatment.
Yes, sir.
People might accept even your this thing, skin graft.
Okay, sir.
Because after that, Penumbra curve, everything will be asked for you in X-ray. In your RT treatment, how will you plan the RT treatment? All those things we are going to ask you now. So, what else? What are the other options? Sir, Paul sir is waiting to tell
Yeah,
about the
in this
department.
particular case, the only option was a free flap.
That's
A huge defect
Free flap.
for the whole area. Yeah.
Free
what
flap.
did you, free flap is what will you do?
So what would be your most common site of free flap if you want
Donor site.
to take for this?
Sir,
What is your donor site which you would commonly use in your institute?
ALT flap.
What is
Yeah.
ALT flap?
Sir,
What is ALT flap?
anterolateral type flap.
What is the vessel based on?
Circumflex femoral artery. Branches from the circumflex femoral artery.
Okay.
You would have a fairly large skin available from ALT flap, no?
He's asking you, will there be a large amount of skin available for the purpose, whatever you are taking? Will it be helpful? He's asking you.
Yes, large amount of skin and subcutaneous tissue we can get from the ALT flap.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then
Any
what?
other option?
One more option, excellent option is available.
LD flap.
LD flap. Okay. LD will be a very huge, bulky fellow. Anything
And you
else?
have to change position also
Yeah.
for the patient.
Anything else? Plastic surgeons like it a lot before and all. Now they may not do it. Your orthopedicians also would have used that. With the orthopedicians, the plastic surgeon, something they will cross and they will do it also. I have given you the hint.
Gastro.
Gastro. Cross pandrathu gastro varadha. Cross leg flaps and all they'll use it. Remember?
Yes, sir. Cross.
They'll use all those things. But as of now, because
Now
free
we-
flaps are becoming more comfortable,
Okay, sir.
they can cosmetically also it will be far better. And one more reason for this thing flap is the chances of edema will be less
Okay, sir.
because you're going to put a good tissue there with an adequate skin. The lymphatics will become better and becomes edema will reduce. Okay, now you're done that. What do you want to do? What is the pathology report, madam?
So the final pathology also came as
Anything else, sir? Anything else?
No,
Surgery?
that's okay.
Pathology report, Rexina, the final pathology.
the final pathology also came as high grade sarcoma. They are not able to type it.
Margins are free.
Margins are free.
Margins are free. Margins are
Size of the lesion?
So 10 into 10 into
Madam, you're not audible, madam.
I
10
think it's
into 8 centimeter.
10 into 8 centimeters.
8 centimeters. All margins, leaf margin is
All margins are
We had taken the periosteum also as the deep margin, but and everything's negative. The muscle
Negative.
was free. We didn't have to take the muscle.
only the muscle was not taken actually. Only the
Okay.
fascia was taken.
The fascia was it was just limited up to the
Yeah.
okay. So all margins are negative. Adequate margins were there.
Yeah.
Okay, Manu, you wanted to put a skin graft.
Yes.
What if you had put the skin graft? What would have happened?
Skin graft.
Okay, leave it. That is what you wanted to do. We all wanted to do a flap.
He
Correct?
would
We'll
have
leave-
thought you have to say all options. He didn't think about the RT.
Yeah, that is, we'll catch him now. He's coming for that only. The treatment is not even 25% over now. Now, what do you want to do? She has given you the pathology report.
15 minutes to go, sir.
What?
We have 15 minutes to go, sir.
10 minutes.
No, no.
Okay, sorry, faster. What do you want to do?
I need to plan for adjuvant treatment,
What are the adjuvant treatments available?
adjuvant radiation and adjuvant chemotherapy is available.
What do you want to give?
Here it is a high grade tumor, more than 5 centimeter. So adjuvant radiation should be given once the wound is healed.
Okay. What are the complications of the flap, whatever is being put there?
There are acute complications and long
Takan, you should say. Still, she has told only 8 minutes now.
So acute complications, there can be venous congestion, thrombosis,
Okay.
flap loss.
Okay. Right. Right, go on. Then, what will you want to do? Radiation therapy, chemotherapy.
Radiation.
What is the dosage of radiation you will give?
Sir, EBRT 60 to 70 gray.
60 to 70 gray you will give.
Yes, sir.
Is that the way you will answer?
No, sir.
Why 60 gray? Why 70 gray? Why not 64 gray?
No, sir. We used to give 60 gray in 2 fractions.
What will be your target area here? How many centimeters you will give proximal, distal, and this thing laterally?
Sir, target area will be 1 centimeter all around the clip.
All around the clip, distal to the clips. That's what you're telling.
Yeah,
That's a margin you will want to give
yes, sir.
by radiation therapy. Okay. Then there will be 60 gray. Any boost dose, anything you want to mention?
Boost for a negative margin.
What will be the complication now?
Complications.
If you had put the skin graft, what will happen to 60 gray?
Skin flap will go.
Skin graft will go. The flap will not go. Okay. Patient will come for a second surgery to you. Correct? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Flap will be put. So you will be giving a RT. You should mention about the boost RT, whole field RT, and 1 or 2 centimeters, or actually speaking, 2 centimeters all around. You're supposed to give RT. There should be a field of RT. Right. After that, what do you want to do? What are the major complications you will have post RT?
Post RT.
In this case, after 60 gray.
Skin acute toxicities can happen. Wound
Okay.
complications.
Okay.
And long-term complications, edema of the limb,
Okay.
muscle stiffness, fibrosis,
Okay. What else?
pathological fracture of the bone.
Okay. What is the radiation dose of bone? Usually, how much of radiation will the bone withstand here?
30 gray, sir.
80 gray. Okay. Go on. Then, what other complications you will face in this case? It's all. So, what else you want to do? Anything else you want to do? Completed treatment?
No, rehabilitation of the patient.
You don't want to give any adjuvant chemo?
Yes, sir. High-grade tumor.
You never mentioned you went to rehabilitation. You want to give concurrent chemo RT or sequential chemotherapy followed by RT or RT followed by chemotherapy. You never mentioned anything.
I would like to give first adjuvant RT followed by adjuvant chemo.
Adjuvant chemo. What is the drug you want to give?
Ifosfamide and adriamycin.
Okay, what is the dosage?
Dose ifosfamide 60 milligram per meter square on day 1. Adriamycin 2 gram per meter square.
What are the complications? What will you discuss with the patient before?
Chemotherapy, sir.
Just nothing.
Hemorrhagic cystitis can occur. Hematological toxicities can occur.
What else? Most important.
Febrile neutropenia.
That will happen for all chemotherapy. That is the usual pharmacological student will write. Febrile neutropenia. What will you talk? Anything to do with the heart?
Cardiac toxicity, sir.
Anything to do with the kidney? If it's an young patient, what will you talk?
No, Cardiac.
Sterility, you should speak. If there's an young patient, because you're going to use ifosfamide.
Yes.
Okay. And you talk about the cardiotoxicity, renal toxicity, what else?
Okay.
3 minutes more. Ra.
Oh, it's okay, sir. We can go ahead further.
No. You should talk generally about all the problems what the patient is going to have because of chemotherapy. Because patient is the chemotherapy is the more dreaded than all the 2 procedures what the patient has gone through. Okay. So you need to talk about that also. Okay. Then chemotherapy is completed. Then what do you want to do?
I want to follow up the patient.
Why? Why do you want to follow?
Sir, follow up.
What will be a pattern of follow?
Pattern of follow up will be
Why you want follow up? What will be a pattern of follow up?
the reason for follow up will be to find out any complication with our treatment.
Okay.
And to find out any local recurrence and distant metastasis.
What else? What else will you do with this patient?
This patient got multiple family history.
Yes.
Yes, I would like to screen for other malignancies.
Now itself, huh?
No,
The follow-up.
During follow-up.
Different cancers can be there for this patient. That needs to be kept in mind. What else? Treatment is completed. Patient is on follow-up. Genetic counseling. Patient's other siblings to be called. They should be. It's because it's an autosomal dominant fellow.
Okay, sir.
They should also be screened.
Yes, sir.
Investigation needs to be done for them. It's a female patient. Breast cancers, everything needs to be. Another 2 minutes more. What else? Sir, Vijay sir, Paul sir. He is also looking at the watch now. Fellow, please finish it up. That's what this was asking. No.
No. You're a good examiner, Ayyappan. I must mention that.
You need to interfere.
Yeah.
So follow up. How often? What do you do?
For a high-grade tumor, I would like to follow up every 3 months for the first 2 years.
Why? Why 3 months for first 2 years?
So
Why not 6 months for first 2 years?
for high-grade tumor, chance of disease recurrence is in the first 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
So I want to do a frequent follow-up than low-grade tumors.
Okay. So if it's a low-grade tumor, the same thing. Let us say, assume it's a low-grade lesion, 10 centimeters low-grade lesion. What you would have done? What would have been your follow-up?
We can do a 4 to 6 months follow-up. We can do.
Okay.
What
Remember,
is the difference in follow-up between a low-grade tumor and a high-grade tumor?
10 centimeters lesion. Please understand. It's a 10 centimeters lesion.
10 centimeters is a high risk, sir.
High risk.
Don't get into that high grade, low grade when it's becoming 10 and 15 centimeters.
In high
Again, the
risk-
chances of metastasis is high.
Okay, sir.
Okay, because that is why when in the TNM staging itself, they changed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, intermediate grade, just they changed the whole thing. Okay, be careful on that. Don't get trapped in that thing.
High risk and low risk.
Okay, right.
High risk and low risk.
No risk.
So
Okay,
what is the
keep it
difference
there.
between high risk and low risk in follow-up?
High risk cases, more frequent follow-up, 3 months follow-up in the first 2 years.
Maybe low risk, the follow-up 3 to 6 months itself, but
What will you do? That's what Sir wants to ask.
The imaging, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell. He has asked you, so you complete the answer.
High risk disease,
Okay, the patient walks in after 3 months. What will you do? Paul?
for high risk disease, I will do a CT.
3 months later, patient is coming to you. Will you do the CT immediately?
No, sir.
Okay, 3 months later, the patient comes to you. What will you do?
Clinical examination, sir.
Okay. What all will you see?
For local recurrence and
Okay.
complications of the surgery.
Fantastic. 1 year later, the patient comes. What will you do?
I will want to rule out lung metastasis.
Okay,
and,
what will you do?
sir,
You'll do your X-ray, yeah?
No,
Eh?
sir,
What
for
will you do?
chest X-ray, sir.
Chest X-ray. Okay, then CT chest you'll do.
Okay.
You'll do a CT chest. So, yeah. What does the NCCN guidelines say?
NCCN guideline, chest imaging, CT,
I'm just waiting for you to tell something. What will you do with your local part?
clinical
Why?
examination. Most of the recurrence we can detect by clinical examination.
Okay. Now, because you have done something, you have told something, you have done something. If you have done by a free flap,
Yes, sir.
what will you want to do?
Sir, if we
Free
can
flap, you will have a bulk of tissue. You cannot palpate what is there.
ultrasound examination we can.
Okay. Or else?
or else MRI.
MRI will be better.
Okay.
Okay. Definitely, patient need a local radiological investigation at the end of 1 year for a high-grade lesion. If you have been successful with your skin graft, you'll be able to palpate that area. Since you have put a free flap, you'll not be able to palpate that area comfortably. So you want to do a radiological investigation of that. You'll definitely, because ideal thing for a high-grade lesion is once in 6 months, you should have a chest. What is the role of PET CT?
Role of PET CT is
1 year later, patient comes out with a lung metastasis.
Then there is a role for PET CT to
5 lung metastasis, 5 nodules. What will you do? There is only 1 nodule. What will you do?
One nodule is there. I want to rule out any other metastatic size. I will do a PET CT.
Why?
And 5 nodule, if it's,
Wait, Manu. Okay. Why do you want to do a PET CT for that case?
I want to rule out any other mets.
Where do you expect a met?
Mediastinum.
Okay. That mediastinal metastasis will be picked up by a nice good CT scan.
And
Liver.
Manu, somebody is helping you. You are not catching the help.
recurrence in abdomen.
Abdomen will come, huh? In extremities.
Liver mets can occur.
You can get away by answering occult metastasis. I can pick it up. But generally, extremity 1 year, right? Okay. If it is an abdominal retroperitoneal sarcomas, definitely you need to have a PET CT because it can happen anywhere and depending on the histology also. Okay. Now, I've told you 1 metastasis in the lung. What do you want to do after 1 year?
Single mets, no other.
No other metastasis. What do you want to do?
If there's no recurrence, local recurrence, I want to go for a lung metastatic.
Lung metastatic. What is that? What is that you'll advise the anesthetist? What is that you'll want from your anesthetist?
Single lung,
Correct. Tell me. Correct.
single lung ventilation.
Single lung ventilation. Correct. Why?
I want to palpate the entire lung to roll out
Fantastic.
anything.
That's all. If there are 5 lung metastases,
If it is entire lesion, we can take with the R0 margin. I will still go for
5 metastases are there at the end of 1 year. What do you want to do?
There is a poor prognostic factor. Disease-free interval is less. Number of mets is more.
Don't answer theory. Now I'm asking you very practically. 5 metastases are there. It is now 1 year. What do you want to do?
I want to see.
Rexana has come inside. I think she wants us to say goodbye. Is it so? She's smiling very nicely. And you shut up your mouth, is what she's telling now. Okay. Okay. If the disease-free survival is less, you will not do anything. You just leave the patient alone, Manu. If it is less than 6 months, it's not ideal. If it's more than a year, depending on the aggressiveness of the surgical team, you can go for the wide excision.
Yeah.
If it is 5 metastases and other things, you go for a palliative therapy. That's all.
I don't know. 5 mets also sometimes we do.
Yeah. That is depending on certain institutes.
Yeah.
If it is confined to the single lung,
it is a case-to-case scenario.
again, Manu, please remember, tumor board is what you need to inculcate in your brain. It should be presented in the tumor board, whether you're doing it or not. In the exam, the examiners will request you to do this because breast cancers, soft tissue malignancies, rectal cancers, they're all expected to tell multidisciplinary approach. That is the in thing in oncology now. Multidisciplinary approach. If you're not mentioning that word, they will never pardon you. Please understand. Don't forget about this. Okay? Everything, just tell multidisciplinary. Then you tell whatever you want. This can be put up in a multidisciplinary approach. Yes, Rexana, I'll close my mouth.
Anybody else? Paul sir, Vijay.
You want to take the questions in the chat, or you want to continue asking something?
So just
He is wanting us to close the session. You are asking questions.
She is bold enough. She'll tell what is needed.
Okay.
Just let her.
Actually, there's one question which is like quite regularly asked even by RPGs to us. Like this 1 centimeter margin that we say, are we talking pathological or are we talking by us, the surgeon?
Surgeon.
Surgeon.
I would say surgeon because the margin is always what you see. The pathological margin, you just need a negative margin. It doesn't matter whether it's 1 centimeter or 0.5 centimeter or whatever. But if you give a 1 centimeter margin, the chance of getting a negative margin is much higher. That is why you will give. The more you give, better. Previously, people would give even up to 5 centimeters margin for a high-grade tumor in the soft tissue area, in the bone or in the thing. Wherever you have another facial compartment, you could reduce the margin to 2 centimeters. So there are different examiners will follow different. Ultimately, you need a negative margin. That's all I would say. I would agree with that, whatever the candidate says.
Yeah, when the sarcoma is, the proximal and distal muscles have to be cut around 3 centimeters, then only you will get that margin. Otherwise, you get a 1 centimeter for the by.
Especially in this multidisciplinary, it's very difficult to convince the other parties that we have actually taken a 1 centimeter and it is not
Exactly.
showing
Raksana, that is why I requested Manu to see the specimen on table and suture it properly. If you take a 1 centimeter margin, definitely it will retract and the tumor will pout outside.
Yes.
This will happen. So
especially if you're using cautery. If you're using cautery, that muscle really contracts a lot.
And you should ask the anesthetist to give a proper muscle relaxant, or else it will keep on twitching and the whole thing will retract back. You will definitely see the tumor. By yourself, you will feel that you are not given adequate margin.
Yes,
So what I think is a 3 centimeter if you have adequate muscle on both sides.
That is an explained thing. As Paul sir says, that is explained because even after cutting, the whole thing will shrink and come and stand near the tumor. And grossly, you will feel that there is negative margin. Pathologically, what is accepted now, the current trend is, see, understand one thing, it's all in the process of evolution. Treatment is in the process of evolution. 1 millimeter, as Vijay says, is sufficient to call it as R0 resection. But for the surgeon, as Raksana is asking, it is convincing if it is all around normal tissue seen grossly. That's why we speak about inking of the margin and photography of the specimen.
Okay, specimen photography, that would be a good thing for an MD.
That's routinely, if it is always it is done. If it is a sarcoma dedicated unit, that's how they do. They draw the diagrams, keep it there, because when I've been to Europe, no, that's how they do it, because they have one case. You hear all the institutes, put the next case, that will happen. So it will just keep on rushing. But for the student to answer, this is the way to go about it.
Then another question was, would we do the biopsy before the metastatic workup, because some of the metastatic workup would change as per the biopsy? Like we were discussing in terms of CT thorax, MRI, then biopsy, but then as you know, angiosarcoma has another metastatic workup. So like, do we actually want to say metastatic workup before the biopsy or after, was one of the questions put up.
The routine, Manu, you want to take that answer? Or you want us to suffer?
No,
I want you to suffer first, then we'll take the sufferings.
Some specific histology subtype has got additional imaging needed.
You need to say what are the imaging needed, why?
Sir, for alveolar sarcoma, clear cell sarcoma, angiosarcoma, brain imaging is needed. For myxoid liposarcoma, spine imaging is needed. For CT, abdomen pelvis imaging is needed.
Brain imaging is needed for cardiac angiosarcoma and
Alveolar and myxoid, round cell, all those. See, Manu, a very easy answer for this, Think of common things commonly.
Right.
What will you do? First thing is, anywhere, everywhere, it is only chest. That's a commonest site. And histology is always after your radiological investigation only you will do. Okay. So routine thing is answer the common things properly. So routine metastasis, when it's a surprising histology, I will go for other investigations. That's how I would answer it. That's what I would expect my student. I would not wait for the histology, then do a metastatic workup.
I would possibly say that local part imaging, chest X-ray, and then the biopsy. The CT chest might wait for the type of histology and create.
It's also acceptable. Anything, Manu, please understand one thing. You should be able to substantiate your statement, whatever you're telling. You should have a reason behind. You cannot tell something and then you cannot blink.
And another thing which might work in a situation is if you are not sure what, at least be very sure what is done in your institute. The practice in your institute is this. You could always justify that this is what we do, and so that is why we would follow this sequence.
Because Manu, if you tell that, Paul will be sitting next to you.
No. What we do is we would do. As the patient comes, we would give the request for a CT test also along with the local. In this case, and we'll ask for a true cut after the local imaging is done. So he would come back to us with this, and depending on the specific types, we would ask for other modality, maybe abdomen and pelvis.
Yeah, that is why we talk about
by MRI, maybe a brain imaging, depending on the type of
site of the lesion.
Yeah.
What is the commonest histology you'll expect in this thing? Limb sarcomas.
Liposarcoma.
That's all. Does it? That's the way we need to go about the whole thing. Okay. Yes, Rexena.
Also, does an ultrasound for the nodes have to be done in all cases, or do we read?
Preferably, yes.
If it is epithelioid, definitely lower limb epithelioid.
Preferably, yes.
Depending on the site also, subtype also.
What else?
Questions for now, sir.
For now means you are extending the whole thing over.
Shaji sir to say a few words.
Shaji sir, sorry sir.
Good evening, Ayyapan sir,
Yes,
Vijay Kumar sir.
Good evening, sir.
We had a very detailed discussion on management of extremity soft tissue sarcoma. Thanks to both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the
Ayyapan sir,
opportunity.
any suggestion to the candidate? Any suggestion to the or any advice to improve the candidate?
Again and again, only one
suggestions?
thing, sir.
Feedback.
Say there are only set number of cases. You sit and rehearse.
Okay.
Sit and rehearse. Everything should be a prepared, planned answering. You cannot prepare an answer in front of the examiner because your brain will not work so comfortably. You will be in the highest level of tension. You cannot prepare an answer there. And these things are all given answer. So prepare the answers, the sentences before, so that it will be easy for you to spot it out at that point of time. Or else you need to form an answer and then tell the answer. It will be difficult.
And the answers has to be fluent without
Be
waiting for the
comfortable.
examiner to ask for the.
You will
Answer.
feel comfortable more than the examiner. When the next question comes, oh, I've answered that. That encouragement, self-encouragement will be there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Pray for good examiners. That's all.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ayyapan sir.
Okay.
Bye, sir. Paul.
Thank you, Vijay sir.
Thank you,
All the
Vijay
best,
sir
Manu.
and Ayyapan sir.
All the best, Manu.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Rexina,
Thank you.
for the excellent
Yeah,
coordination.
Thank you.
Rexina.
Thank you, Paul and Rexina.
And Manu,
Yeah, well done.
Thank you,
well
sir.
done.
Good. All the best, Manu. Bye.
Practice more.
I'll be stopping the session now. The next session will be on the next Friday with a case of locally advanced breast cancer. I'll be sharing the.
Very tough topic.
There are students are very
Very tough.
Breast sarcoma is there for all candidates.
like 100% cases.
Yeah.
Very tough also. Bye. Da.
Thank you very
Okay.
Sir.
Right.
much. Thank you.
Thanks.
वो जो रेड डॉट है उसको press या एस्केप दबा दो तब भी हो जाएगा।